Hi everyone, I got one last reading in me for you today. I've been trying to put a lot of focus on my tarot channel, so I'll be posting quite regularly. I'm not sure for how long, and then I usually like to take a break from social media for a couple weeks. But if you are interested in working with me, I do intuitive tarot readings. I also, if you don't feel comfortable with the tarot, just do psychic medium readings. I do birth chart analysis, progressive future casting analysis, a number of things. I'm also an astrologer. So if you'd like to work with me, please let me know. I can talk to you about a variety of services that I offer, but right now I'm doing 45 minutes for $45 via Zoom pre-recorded or phone. Yeah, and you can email me, and my email will be below. So just gonna close my eyes for a second. This energy, I don't know why I'm getting these like messages of people wanting to come forward. I just lately have been doing some spiritual work for myself, and I am a long time intuitive psychic medium, and this week something just hit me and I'm getting a lot of messages. So if any of these are for you, I hope that the intention is that it's healing. It brings closure, it brings peace of mind, and it lets you get through your day without focusing on sort of unhealed wounds with people from your past or people that you don't talk to anymore. So this is from someone who ghosted you. You felt ghosted at one point, and now there's no talking, and at least you saw the way it ended as being ghosted, and it was like super painful, even though you were like, come on, this is ridiculous. Like, I'm an adult. Like, I'm not like some teenager who cares about being ghosted. But like, it really brought up, I think I mentioned the adult thing because it brought up stuff from your, sorry, I just nicked my nail. I was doing my nails, so I'm gonna fix that. Like, it brought up stuff from your, not just your childhood, but your life, where like people mistreated you for no reason. That was really hard for you because it's hard for you to look at times where you were unjustly treated and where you weren't in your power, because you tend to then go and say, I should have acted differently. I can't believe I put up with that. Why would I let that continue? But the thing is, we all still can't find the nail polish. We all do the best we can in the way we know. I feel like I'm digging for my nail polish, and the nick on my nail is all symbolic for the reading. I'm gonna give it about one more second. Oh, I found it. Why is this symbolic for the reading? I think every part of the reading is symbolic for the greater message, and there's something like being scavenged. There's something that was damaged, maybe even cosmetically, in this relationship. Like maybe you, maybe there was like a physical injury. That could be taken a variety of ways. Maybe something about the relationship. Some people, when they, for example, when they're incredibly anxious, don't eat. I don't know if you know about that. Different thing from eating disorder. That there could have been a variety of ways that you punish yourself and your body for the outcome of this relationship, for the way it ended, because you took blame upon yourself, I'm feeling. And this like relates to some deeper pattern that you have in your life, where you make every conflict your fault, or every ending your fault, everything that doesn't work out your fault. And that is actually narcissism. I want to tell you, that's not your fault either. If you're thinking that in a narcissistic way, because we're raised in our society to think about relationships, what can you do for me? and also that relationships have an end point. Like, we only see in movies, like, they get married and they live forever, happy forever, goodbye. We don't see the conflict, the day-to-day trying to do checks and balances of working together, being in a partnership. I mention this because this person, you felt disillusioned after. I'm seeing the Seven of Swords, which is originally about people stealing from another encampment, like soldiers stealing from each other's camps. Which makes me think there was something warlike in the dynamic. There was some, I was gonna say tit for tat, but there was some one-upmanship, or like, this person made you feel vulnerable in some ways. I'm thinking of Carlos Castaneda. I don't know why. I'm trying to be really open in these readings and just let what comes through. If you've ever read him, he's a great writer, I think from the 60s and 70s. It's about him going to Mexico and Central America and places, and tripping on peyote and other similar natural pharmacological drugs. One thing he says is that he saw that consciousness is like a room, and when you're in the room that you usually go in, you can only see what it looks like in that room, and the peyote allowed him to step back and see, like, once removed, himself in the room of his consciousness, which I thought was pretty cool and wild. And he says a couple other things, like some people are just like really literally demons and they're not humans, and I'm not gonna comment on that, but why am I mentioning Carlos Castaneda here? One of the books is called The Doors. No, this was reminding me of a book called The Doors of Perception by Aldous Huxley, which is also about drugs. I'm not recommending you trip on peyote or do drugs. I'm saying seeing a door again, door knocking. This person like opened opportunity for you in some way, spiritually, emotionally. They gave you a lot of openings in the conversations to heal. They gave you a lot of benefit of the doubt until they didn't. I'm almost seeing like Mr. Nice Guy until no more Mr. Nice Guy. Like, there was something about that interaction that made you both see life in a different way. Like, you could both step back from the room and say, oh, I'm in that room, like Carlos Castaneda. And then you both were like shuffling once a certain amount of time had gone by, because you were like so shaken up by each other. And you were like, I don't want to be in this room that I'm seeing that I'm in. And getting out of that room right now has to do with cutting you off. So you see, you were still in that world, that emotional signature, that energetic vibrational experience that they wanted to leave, that way they were behaving in their whole life. You witnessed the negativity. So they ghosted out of fear, out of your perceptive, maybe you're like really intuitive, and like, I'm picking up that you have like some knowledge of this person without knowing why, and it was scary for them. So that might be a really cool thing for you to look into, is if you are this intuitive person, knowing what people's limits are with that. Some people don't have experience with people who intuitively know things, or like are psychic and it's too much for them. So I'm kind of saying that is a reason that they cut off, because you clearly saw them, and you even picked up things about their life and their in the conflict, the way that it ended. You spoke boldly and you picked up things about their life that they weren't aware of, and it was shocking for them. And first they were very angry, seeing someone going around a pond like several times, just being like, who does this person think they are? But then once they had done that a couple times and got a good night's sleep, they were like, this person's right. Everything they said is right about what you had said. And they couldn't address that, so they ghosted. And this may be a greater lesson in the pain of being a truth teller, and knowing when to hold that knowledge for ourselves. And when we want to help people enlighten, they may not be ready. So that's the message, and I hope you have a great day, and thanks for tuning in.